Welcome into Gamesthetic, episode 210. I'm Alex Light with Spark Through. Hope you're having a phenomenal day today, whatever day you are listening or watching the show. We got both the boys here. Zach, welcome back, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. I recently discovered that apparently in Sentai and Kamen Rider stuff, the character that can also speak English is apparently always the bad guy.
I'm the Sentai fan, and I didn't even know that. So much of a fan I am.
It was a random clip I came across that it was more Kamen Rider than Sentai stuff.
Okay,
but apparently
that's fair.
Apparently every Kamen Rider character, for the most part, if they can speak both Japanese and English fluently, they're always a traitor.
Always the bad guy. Oh man. Shout out to Super Sentai.
I was just like, well, that's wild.
Yeah. I did see recently that apparently there is a new. And I love how they made sure to specify live action, where it's like, okay, as if every show ever hasn't already been live action, but there's a new live action Power Rangers apparently in development with Disney Plus.
I saw that actually.
Yeah, so my first thought was, what Sentai season you gonna grab? Because if you're gonna grab any of them, I hope you grab the one with the Royal Kings and the Bugs, because that looks really cool.
It's none of them. It's all Kingdom Hearts themed.
Probably, honestly. But also shout out to Disney, I guess, dipping their toes back into it. You know, because they owned Power Rangers for a good little minute.
Oh, they did, didn't they?
Yeah, starting with Ninja Storm.
Yeah.
And then they gave it up back to Saban, and Saban sent it down the tank, and that's when Hasbro's got it, who sent it down the tank. So anyway, John, what about you, buddy? How are you?
I'm all right. Sorry, I got distracted. I was reading something.
Yeah, that's fair. We kind of started off talking about Power
I didn't know
Rangers
what the hell y'all were talking about. So I was like, I'll just tune in a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Well, glad that all the boys are here. You know, after last week, Zach had to unfortunately miss, but everyone's here to have a great time today. We got a couple things to chat about, like the Xbox Steam thing, which we've talked about before, about the rumors and possibilities and our general thoughts on it. Well, apparently the partnership may or may not have been leaked. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. Obviously, probably more FragPunk. I know these two have been playing an ungodly amount. I've seen you guys on every single damn day. I played a little bit yesterday.
I didn't play night before last.
Yeah, I mean, we skipped a night.
Okay, one night. Congratulations.
Hey, that's big for us.
Yeah,
I was about to say, I skipped Thursday.
Okay, all right, one day. Respect. Let's see, what else did we have on the docket? Digimon, baby. Digimon story time stranger. We got some new info on it.
Oh, man. I don't know if there's a lot of people excited, but we are definitely two of them.
Hey, no, actually, you know what? The reason why I made sure to make it one of the headlining things is for the clip purposes, because I missed this totally. But I went back like today when I was looking at some stuff to get a video uploaded, and I noticed the clip of us talking about Time Stranger being announced.
I saw this.
Yeah, like good, solid views and solid likes, and I'm just like, oh man, look at that! More people excited for Time Stranger. Shout out.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't know how many people are excited and talking about it.
Yeah.
At least this early.
Right. No, Time Stranger is gonna, like, almost to an extent become the same level as what Black Myth Wukong became, where it's like, even if the littlest bit of information we get, John and I are gonna be able to talk about it for like 5 to 10 minutes ad nauseum and just stretch something out just because we're that excited. So we got that going on. I played 33 Immortals. That game just came out this week.
I was looking at getting into that because I saw it got added to Game Pass.
Yep, it is on Game Pass. I checked it out today. Had some fun with it, so I'm going to chat about that. John played a pretty interesting game as well that I also want to check out. Going to have to look into that one called WrestleQuest. And then apparently Persona 4 Remake could be on the way. So we're going to touch on that later as well as some other things here or there. So anyway, make sure to like, and comment and subscribe to the channel. We'd appreciate that, as well as check out our Patreon down below. You can support the channel further. We appreciate that. Shout out to our Tier 2 patron, Hannah. We appreciate you. As well as join the Discord, be a friend, tell a friend, and we'll make sure to shout out our sponsors and whatnot later on in the episode. So, all right, boys. Anything you guys want to shout out?
Something interesting happened.
Okay. What's that?
Dragon Age the Veil card got an update.
I saw that. Wasn't it like some weapons?
Yeah, they added some weapons, and I haven't looked at it. I'm done with that game.
Right.
I played it for 60 something hours.
Yep.
But yeah, I thought it was interesting because they had said no additional content, no updates, or like no like meaningful updates, maybe like bug fixes and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I thought it was interesting to see that they actually added in like weapons and stuff.
Yep.
I don't know how impactful that is.
Probably not.
Probably not very, but it is interesting to see that they went back and put something in that game.
Yeah, like the 2 developers still in the game, they sprinkled a little something in there, before they get moved off of it as well.
You know what else happened this week? Power World Crossplay came out.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, I did see
missed
that too.
I missed that.
Also, they apparently had a popularity poll. Can you guess who won?
No, I cannot.
Zoe.
See, I'm drawing a blank what Zoe looks like.
Zoe was the pink-haired trainer who you fight in the first tower with the Electabuzz minigun.
Yeah, Grisbolt.
Oh,
Gears
okay.
Bolt.
All right, I'm following now. Yep.
Everyone simped hard. She won
She
the
was on most of our thumbnails, so.
Yep, she won the popularity poll, and apparently it's going to become a recruitable character.
Oh, nice.
Whatever that means for Power World.
Yeah.
Because people already glitched it and captured her.
Yeah. I still haven't gone back since any of their like big updates after like the initial wave of it. I do mean to go back at some point.
There's 2 other whole new islands. One sort of Eastern themed, and the other one Viking themed.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to go back and playing that. It's just go back into it. It's a time commitment.
Yes, it is.
So
yeah, you got to get ready to really jump into it.
Yeah, so I will at some point jump back in and actually look and see what all they have in there.
Right.
I was thinking I might wait for like one more update, so I've got a whole bunch to do.
I was about to say maybe a little bit since they just released that crossplay. So
Yeah. I figured it'd be a little while. I can at least hop back in, see how my old world's doing.
everyone is starving.
Yeah, everyone's starving. Some people abandon you. Whole thing. A riot's happening. Oh man! Shout out to Power World. Shout out to Power World. I saw something as well where it's like the head of Pocket Pair was just like, I don't know why Power World got so popular. It's just like, what do you mean? It's like you made a fun game in a genre that people are starving for more fun
Let's
games.
be honest. Nobody was talking about Power World.
True.
We were talking about Power World.
we were talking about Power World.
Us and a couple other low-level, hey, this is a thing, guys.
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say that Power World's success is thanks to us. I think that's a fair comment to say.
It's
I think
one of
that's
those things.
fair enough to get your head out your ass.
Wow! Back me up!
It's one of those things. Kind of, Power World was similar to like Black Myth, where we talked about it for years.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until like the month leading up to it that everybody got excited.
It exploded.
It wasn't even like people got excited, just people started getting their hands on it. It wasn't until actually its actual release and people went, oh,
yeah,
this is actually really fun.
I still very clearly remember the shifting point of when it's like everyone started talking about it. It was the Xbox Game Showcase, because after that show, which funny is still not out on Xbox anyway, was funny. I remember
Game preview.
I remember seeing comments of where it's just like,
Wait, which game are you talking about?
Power World.
no, Black Myth.
Oh, okay.
That's what I thought.
No, Black Myth. Where I remember seeing comments where it's like, Black, this looks interesting, but I'm really gonna need to see some gameplay. Gonna have to really see some gameplay to see what's this like. And me and John over here screaming from the rooftops. We have 4 years worth of gameplay to watch.
It's like you haven't looked for it. Go find the YouTube channel. There's 45 minutes of gameplay on there.
Yeah. No, shout out. See, I think the example of us talking about Black Myth Wukong from day one and Power World. I think that's just a great example of why people need to listen to the show. I'm just saying, listen to Gamesthetic.
Yeah, we see like big blow up record setting games.
Yeah.
4 years in advance.
Yeah. So
we find those ones that no one's really talking about.
And when the time comes and it starts to actually get some traction, we're gonna do the same thing with Dokev whenever the time comes.
Whenever we hear more about it.
Yeah, whenever we hear more, we'll do the same thing, and then give it more time. It'll be a month before release, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh wow, look at Dokev," and we'll be over here like, "I know, we've been talking about it."
You said Dokev, and I had it in my way. I was like, "What is Dokev?"
Which one was that?
Dokev.
That's the weird yokai.
It took me a minute to be like, "Which one was that again?" Oh yeah.
Yeah, the one we saw a trailer for like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe 4 now.
And never seen anything since.
Yeah, because it's by the Black Desert devs.
Yep. So they've been very busy with other things.
That just reminds me, Crimson Desert's supposed to be later this year.
I'm
so excited.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be one of the big releases this year, man. I'm excited. Oh geez. But yeah, that's why you should listen to Gamesthetic. Follow the show. Subscribe to the channel. All right, boys. Let's chat about this whole Xbox thing, because we've talked about this exact topic before. In fact, we talked about it just this year.
Multiple times.
Multiple times. But now, it always cracks me up when any studio or any publisher outs themselves on something by accident, and then it just gets obviously immediately taken down. It always cracks me up. It's like, how did you let that slip? Like, how many checks did this have to go through, and no one caught this new UI with the Steam at the top? You know what I mean?
I mean, here's the thing with that, Alex, though. I mean, yes, it slipped, and probably several people saw it, but it's also probably the same people who all have been seeing it and are used to it.
Yeah, right.
So they're just like, that's normal.
Yeah. It's like, no big deal. No, I can just imagine that call that Phil Spencer got. It's like, yeah, what's up? Yeah, so we may have leaked the Steam partnership with. He's like, you're shitting me, right? It's like, oh damn it.
Yeah, because all the people are like, oh yeah, no, we've been looking at that for months now. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. And there's one or two people like, that's not supposed to be announced yet.
Yeah, it's like as soon as it goes live, someone checks it and they go,
yeah,
come on.
Yeah, they see on Twitter articles start going up. Xbox and Steam. Xbox, like, what? Oh god, dang it, man, come on. Now, so what we're referring to, if you missed it, is there was an official blog post that was put up by Xbox. It has been since taken down, but it had a headlining graphic showcasing I'm assuming a new UI that is currently in development. And in this UI, it was very noticeable that up at the top where you could select the different options of like owned games, installed games, Game Pass, there was a nice little button that said Steam right up there at the top, leading to the long, rumored, and we've talked about here on the show, of the partnership and the integration of Steam and Xbox in some capacity. And it's also kind of interesting to note, just if some other things that we've talked about recently, just actually in this last episode, that the next Xbox is not really a traditional console. It's a PC and a TV friendly shell.
Yes.
So kind of more leaning in that direction of, okay, this is seeming to be more of a reality. Then there was also a report just this week from Windows Central as well, that Xbox is going away from their quote-unquote era environment and transitioning over to Windows 32 to more align all game development to a PC standard, essentially, which I feel like can further push the narrative that, yeah, Steam is coming, to Xbox in some capacity for some sort of integration, which is something that we've talked about ad nauseum almost, because they're like, all the signs have been there. I mean, I think the signs go all the way back to this whole huge lawsuit going on where Xbox is handing out these Call of Duty deals left and right, and when they hand one to Steam, Gabe said, no, I'm not going to sign it, I trust Xbox. So it's like, I think even going back to then, I think the signs and the seeds were planted, especially even with more reports that we talked about in the weekly wrap up, like, God bless, maybe a month ago, that Steam was wanting to get back into the console market.
Yeah.
So it's like all the stars are aligning that some sort of partnership was going to happen, especially when you look at the state of Xbox and it's kind of dying. They're just sending all the games out to be multi-plat. The console sales are at the lowest it's ever been in terms of just in the life of the brand itself. Obviously, the series has outsold the one, which is great, but it's still not selling up to par. So it's like it kind of makes sense that Xbox would kind of take this approach with a massive name like Steam. So now my question for you guys is I feel like it's kind of confirmed, but it's like, how are we feeling about it? Because I know one big complaint was that we all talked about and had was kind of differentiating the different libraries and shops and stuff like that. But how are we feeling about it? And I guess, is this in your mind 100% kind of locked in?
I mean, I don't think it's 100% locked in. I mean, all we have is it said Steam. So we don't actually know what that would all entail in terms of what will all be connected to Steam. We can assume that it's going to be the entire somehow Steam store added on to this new hybrid console PC thing.
Yeah.
But we truly don't really know for sure what all it's going to entail, because just look at the Game Pass currently. It has the PC and the console Game Pass, which that may change the current divide of stuff that's on console Game Pass versus PC Game Pass. Once we get that new OS and sort its all PC merger, that may disappear and make it more easier accessible. But currently we do have that split of, we have certain things that are on the console Game Pass, but not the PC, and vice versa.
Right.
Which most of the PC extra stuff is just slightly exclusive things on games literally you can't play on console.
Yeah, like good example would be like let's say like the Riot stuff.
Yes.
You know, you can link your Riot account and have all champions in League or all the tacticians in TFT, just as an example.
Yeah.
So yeah, and another thing to think about with what you said is that I mean this integration could come sooner rather than later, and it strictly be for like PC Game Pass.
Yeah.
You know, like the PC UI and stuff. So I could see that too.
I still want to see what the UI actually ends up looking like. Like from like the screenshot we saw of it, we see like a Steam icon. I'm still curious what that actually looks like.
Right.
Especially like because it has the category of like owned games, but then you go to Steam, like the Steam button. You go to Steam. It's like, will the games you own on Xbox that are available on Steam be accessible in that menu as well?
Mm-hmm.
Or anything that you buy, does it strictly go to owned and then have a notification on like the Steam or the different shops saying that you own it?
Right.
It's like, I'd be curious at that. The one thing I'm hoping ends up happening, if this is like does officially get announced and everything with Xbox, is like changing what they're calling their next console, like PC in a like
TV friendly shell.
Hopefully, if it does anything, hopefully that helps optimize PC ports for games. Because if all Xbox is going to be is essentially a PC in a different box, hopefully we'll get better PC ports.
I think it'll be called Next Steam.
Next Steam? Come on now.
I hope not. But yeah, I mean that's the best I can really hope out of this, is because a lot of people still wait to play the games when they come to PC.
Right.
And if Xbox is essentially just going to be a standardized PC in a box that you buy, like that you just hook up to your TV, hopefully they optimize better.
Right.
Because right now we're constantly getting. I mean, hell, one of the biggest games of the year so far, Monster Wild, was a poorly optimized game.
Mm.
So, or at least had a bunch of like graphical errors and didn't run well on like mid-range PCs apparently. So, hopefully that gets fixed if all of this ends up being true.
Right. Right. And something else that I was thinking about with this move is that I feel like this move is something that could, when I say this, I don't mean like, oh my God, they're about to rise to the top. That's just not going to happen. That ship is long sailed, obviously. But I feel like this sort of move could save the Xbox brand, because I think we can all agree the Xbox brand is kind of dying.
Yeah.
It is. Like, I mean, even like Phil Spencer, he is now known as the CEO of Microsoft Gaming, not the CEO of Xbox, just as an example. So I feel like this sort of move, like, it could save the Xbox brand in the extent of, all right, it's going to at least hang around for a while, right? But then again, I say that, and they could just completely transition. It's just like, yeah, we're just known as Microsoft Gaming now. Xbox is now retired. That's totally possible.
That's very likely, too.
Yeah, very likely possible. But it does feel like, them doing this sort of move, this sort of transaction, it has that possibility. It's like, okay, Xbox is kind of here to stay. It'll never be a top dog, right? It's just not going to happen. But it's at least here to stay. That's kind of one little vibe that I get out of this, is that this could be like a little bit almost of a saving grace, and just kind of again trying to appeal to that PC audience.
I mean, do you think that like in the next 5 years or so we just do away with the Xbox name?
I think
because right now it's like they've like you said, they've already transitioned it to Microsoft Gaming. It's like, I mean, you could just completely rebrand Xbox and literally just call it Game Pass.
Yeah,
because it's like that they don't push Xbox anymore. All they push is Game Pass.
Yeah,
it's like they've got everybody. When you think of Xbox, you think of Game Pass. So they almost could just get away with the name Xbox and just refer to it as Game Pass.
Right.
Because that's all their marketing is anyway.
It really
is.
Like,
that's why you buy an Xbox these days.
And the whole thing with this is an Xbox, all with Game Pass.
Yep. And speaking of, shout out to Steve in the chat, because he did ask, so when did PlayStation get access to Xbox exclusives like Forza? And it's like, Forza was the big one. You know what I mean? Like, Like you got like the big three for Microsoft and Xbox with Halo, Forza, and Gears. Like that's kind of your
Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves as well. Yeah, I mean, like in terms of like really notable properties, like those are your big dogs. You know what I mean? It's like Forza getting over to PlayStation. That's a bigger deal than a lot of people realize. So it's like that's going to be the domino that's going to continue to fall, where you're going to see Gears come to it, which may happen this year. Apparently, we'll get to that in the weekly wrap up, and eventually we're going to see Halo on PlayStation. It's going to happen. Like they're open to it. He also said Xbox should be the model, not the brand.
I mean, I could see that.
I can see that too.
But again, I mean,
the same thing as like Sony, PlayStation, Xbox, Microsoft Gaming. I can see that.
Well, I mean, then it sort of kills the whole Microsoft Gaming. They're focusing more on making Microsoft the model rather than Xbox.
Right.
It's like as you mentioned, just the last couple of years they've moved away from adding Xbox's stuff and just either Microsoft Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially with like moving away from calling it a console itself and calling it a PC. It's not Xbox anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, we're still gonna have a couple years of every showcase seeing this is an Xbox, this is an Xbox, but that's probably gonna go away in favor of whatever they call their new strategy, whether it be Game Pass or whether they just call it Microsoft Gaming or whatever they call the box itself.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I feel like at this point, if they held on to the Xbox even as a model, that's more or less just a nostalgia thing, and I don't think that'll really hold a whole lot, honestly.
Yeah. Like, the more that we're kind of talking about this, the more I'm kind of picturing in my head, whatever this next thing is, I don't think it's going to be called an Xbox.
Because, I mean, at this point, it's a nostalgia thing, and I'd rather like to keep the Xbox. If we're really going to make it nostalgia, just let it actually be nostalgia and don't keep bringing it up and letting it die more.
Right. Yeah, exactly. No, I can see that because, again, the more I think about it, like I can see that next console just not even being called Xbox. It's going to be some new name, some new wacky name, whatever
Just
it's
like
going to be.
some Microsoft's 840, I don't know.
Microsoft 840. Just something random, who cares, right?
This is the Microsoft New Vista.
Just something, who knows?
Let's go down a rabbit hole in my head over here since Zach mentioned Sea of Thieves.
Oh, yeah.
Because, it's not mentioned as much, but remember when Sea of Thieves came out?
Yep.
Disaster.
And it was a disaster.
Yeah.
Like, not a whole lot to do. Look at it now. It's Sea of Thieves. Like, everybody refers to No Man's Sky as the one who turned it around. Look at Sea of Thieves. It's in the same ballpark.
It is.
Well, I don't know. It's a little bit serious. 'Cause No Man's Sky was more of a broken mess with not a whole lot to do and a lot of bad publicity, which everyone took as false advertising and a lie. Versus Sea of Thieves, it was a game that came out that was actually okay, very minimal glitches, just no content.
Yeah.
Right.
No Man's Sky was just, they overpromised for what they delivered.
Correct.
Kind of like Starfield in a way, except like No Man's Sky had its own unique gameplay loop. It's just there was nothing to do in the game, which is kind of why I say they're kind of the same thing. Because Sea of Thieves, at its core, was a fun game.
Yes.
There's just nothing to do.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot to do.
And it's like now it's like a juggernaut for Microsoft. I was just thinking about that over here. I'm like, man, it's like Xbox sitting over there. They just got a juggernaut that like nobody thought it was going to turn into that.
I mean, it's just festered. It is the peak pirate game of this current generation and previous generation.
Yeah. And meanwhile, there's Skull and Bones.
I was going to say, there's a new peak out there, Zach.
No.
The quadruple A Skull and Bones.
Not for the pirate experience, because you can only get on your ship in that one. That's just straight up naval battles, guys. And it's not even great naval battles.
Yeah. I think I told you guys this. I once on a blue moon, I'll just get a random comment on like the old like Sea of Thieves, like not Sea of Thieves, Skull and Bones video that we've got. We've got a couple of them, just like little clips from weekly wrap up, whatever. And there was one recently. I think it was the clip where it's just about like year 2 content planned for Skull and Bones. You guys remember that? Yeah, just like a week ago, I had someone comment on it, like hyping up Skull and Bones and stuff. I'm like, I'm glad it's good for you, buddy, but I don't think any of us are even going to entertain that.
I guess we need to stop taking shots at Skull and Bones, I guess. Apparently, its community is stronger than fucking
Than we thought.
Division.
Yeah. It's they've got their own small community.
I'm gonna be
out
honest, it
there.
lasted longer than the Division because Division's dead. Or not Division.
I was gonna say Division's still there. I don't think they're happy right now, but they're there.
What was their shooter?
Whose? Oh, X Defiant.
Yes, that one.
Yeah,
because X Defiant's dead.
Yeah, rip X Defiant.
No, don't rip it.
Rip.
Oh.
It was the entertaining flavor of the month.
It was. It was. Shout out to it being the flavor of the month.
Now, meanwhile, we could just sit over here and hope for a new Division game at some point.
Or heck, even a good update.
Yeah, hope and pray, right?
You know, Division 2's been around for so long.
It's getting close to Destiny 2 of we should cut it off, guys.
Just end this.
They came out not too far apart from each other.
No.
Just like Destiny and Destiny 2.
Yeah, it's just like Division 2 just sat there because I remember when it came out. I used to talk about it. I was like, man, look at like Destiny 2. Everybody's mad and hates the game. Meanwhile, you got Division 2 sitting over there quiet, just enjoying it.
Yeah, just enjoying his time.
Now it's just sitting there with no new content.
I was just sitting there. And people are like, please, can we get something?
Go give us something.
Right.
No, go play X Defiant.
No, now we got FragPunk.
Well, that's not
a flavor of the
that's
month.
not Ubisoft.
I know it's not Ubisoft or Flavor of the Month, but I'm saying we have a new, fun FPS game to play. So, anything of the past, we can just leave it alone.
No, we can't. We take shots at stuff all the time.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of what we do. It's gonna get us sued again at some point.
I don't know.
Well, we
how.
didn't get sued. This show didn't get sued.
No.
I almost got sued with another show, but that's a different conversation.
Yeah, we just take shots at people.
I was like
Yeah.
to say we're not illegally using their content or anything.
Whoa. Let's not dive too much into the weeds here, buddy. Oh, geez. Shout out to ATFS. Almost got sued. You should go listen to the show. But no, with the whole Steam thing, I'll just be curious on if this summer will be the reveal or if this is going to hold off. Because, obviously, if you got the UI and works, it's coming sooner rather than later. You know what I mean? If you've got this UI that you put on a graphic by accident, it's coming. So
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, is it going to be revealed this summer? It's kind of like, and if it does get revealed this summer, like my personal take, it won't be coming to console. I think it's just going to be just a PC thing because I think they're going to fully go full steam ahead with whatever this next console is.
Boo.
That's my thoughts. So,
It'd be a bit weird to have it on PC, like only on PC,
Right.
because it's like I'm not gonna go to my Xbox app to look at Steam games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would die on PC because everyone already has Steam on their PC.
yeah.
Yeah. My Steam is always up on my second monitor. Meanwhile, the Xbox app gets opened up once a week so I can check what's been added there, unless I'm actively playing something.
So yeah, no, if it is getting integrated, it would ideally have to be
It would have to be on console,
on the
ideally,
Yes.
but I just don't know if it will because I feel
mean,
like
it
I feel
would
like they're
have
ready to
to
ship
be.
sale.
I mean, it would,
Sell ship.
it would not be on current consoles. It would only be future.
Yeah, that's
would
what I
be-
mean.
It would be an announcement saying coming with their next system or like
Yeah,
our next
something like that.
device.
Yeah.
This will be there.
Yes, we're in agreement that it would not show up on current systems.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to. Is that if they announce it, let's say this summer, it'll come to PC but not console for now. That's what I mean. It won't come to the series.
say that they
wouldn't-
they shouldn't even mention
Yeah,
current.
they-
They should just say what John said. Our next.
Yeah.
It's like we're
Console.
currently working on the next iteration of like a home system here at Microsoft. Coming with it, we will have this update.
Yep.
Look forward to hearing more information on it and leave it at that.
Yep.
The big kicker is they get Phil Spencer on stage, and he bows before Gabe Newell as he addresses a Steam Xbox merger.
Please get them both on the
I
stage.
was gonna say, you
together.
think Gabe shows up to that, or they just have him on a video monitor and have
Oh, he's all gonna be on a video monitor. Gabe's not gonna show up. Gabe doesn't show up to that stuff
But he shows up at people's houses.
to give them Steam Decks.
Yes.
the man knows his marketing.
Dude, man knows his marketing.
Yeah.
He's like,
he
I'm
knows
not going to
what's
show
up.
up at any of your shows, but I'm going to be in the community. I'm going to hand them stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna personally give them a Steam Deck, and they're gonna remember that for the rest of their life and buy my
Hey,
shit.
you want a Steam Deck?
They're gonna buy the Steam Deck 2 because I gave them the Steam Deck 1. You know, he's building his community. He knows his people. Shout out to Gabe. And shout out to whatever this partnership is. I am looking forward to seeing what it's going to be. It's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out. I will say that. Boys, I'm duck hunting with a shovel. What? Buddy, I'm gonna need more details than just that. What do you mean you're duck hunting with a shovel?
Like, are you like doing a duck hunt speed run, but instead of using the gun controller, you found a shovel controller?
I mean, like, what are we talking about?
We talking like potato level of playing God of War?
I don't know. I'm gonna need more deets on that one, buddy.
I don't know if I want more deets on that one.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. But you know what? We do need more deets on. That's Digimon Story Time Stranger. That's what we need more deets on every single day. But we did get some good deets, though.
That's a weird transition. I thought we were going to go on a sponsor read.
Nah, we'll get to that. But that was a good transition. Come on, that was solid. I give myself a B+ for that. But no, we did have Digimon.
I don't know what kind of curve he's grading on.
Whoa. What are you going to give me, a C+ or an A+?
I don't know where this plus is coming from.
Wow. All right, B-. Cut me some slack. We're staying in the B's, but we'll go down to B-. Anyway.
I'm more surprised he only gave himself a B. I figured he would have got the A.
Well, I'm trying to say humble. All right, I'm trying to say a little humble.
Oh, you should want to be humbled.
Oh, jeez.
We can do this.
John's loaded. He's ready to go.
John left the house and he chose violence.
He's been waiting for this all damn day.
You said get humbled. My eyes lit up.
Ready to go. He was ready to fire. God dang, man. Got me some slack.
Now that we've buried that transition, what do you want to talk about Digimon now?
Digimon Story Time Stranger.
Dude, we got a lot more Digimon news this week than I was expecting to.
Yeah, shout out to Digimon Con. Shout out to that.
Yeah, Digicon actually came out with a lot of news.
New anime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got a card game coming out, a mobile game, like a
new
TCG Pocket.
New anime is supposed to be coming in October.
Yeah, shout out. But got some fun information on Digimon Story Time Stranger. It's still set to come out this year. So they did showcase the 3 partner Digimon that you can start off with, which are going to be Patamon, Gomon, and Pico Devimon. John, who you picking?
Probably Patamon.
See, Patamon would be really cool because Serafimon is really cool. I like Serafimon a lot, but I'm kind of feeling Gomamon here.
If I actually ever picked this up, it'd be Patamon. Nostalgia.
That's fair.
Yeah, I kind of like run my head through like previous Digimon story games, and I never used anything in the Gomamon line.
See, I haven't either, but since it would be my partner here, I would. I mean, Vikemon's cool. Cool.
He looks cool, but
yeah. I mean, he
in the context of the games, he never had.
Well, I mean, look,
never had anything that I wanted to use it for.
Look, based on some other elements that we know about the game, or possibly are hoping for the game, I mean, whoever I'm picked, they're getting sidelined anyway. I'm just gonna keep it real. I mean, they're getting sidelined. But
we'll use these for the first couple hours.
Maybe. Yeah, and then they're gonna get sidelined for some other cool stuff coming. But no, so with the information that we got, the Pro Tag is part of a secret organization called Adamus, where they investigate and solve anomalies that take place. With this, you do get caught up in an explosion, and you awaken 8 years in the past, which I'm assuming the obviously big explosion in the trailer is the explosion in question.
Probably.
The game takes place between the human world and the digital world both, and there is confirmed to be over 450 Digimon in the game, which that is an awesome deal.
For reference, between the previous 2 Digimon story games, both of them combined had a roster of about 350.
Yep.
You said he gets blasted past. All I can think of now is the big twist is you're the actual one who started the Adamus group.
See, that's what I'm thinking too. It's something like that, or you're like, yeah, I'm thinking something along the same lines.
Or you were the hero that the statue they have in the building that without the face, and you just never knew it.
Right. One of those trademark plot points. Okay, I got the context. Our buddy here is duck hunting with a shovel. It means that he is high as a kite right now, is what it means.
Okay.
So, shout out, buddy. You enjoy your ride, my friend. So I will say, with the 450 something that we did come across is, John came across and I confirmed it, is that the inclusion of a group of 12 Digimon. the Olympus 12, the Olympa 12, whatever the name was. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
I think it was like
Yeah.
That means nothing to me,
12 or
but
something.
okay.
Yeah, so that's actually pretty sick because Apollomon is really cool. So I mean, this is basically kind of including some of the Digimon that is in the DS Dawn and Dusk games. Because those Dawn and Dusk games, your main like partner Digimon in both of them, it was Apollomon's rookie form, and I think it was Lunamon's rookie form for each of the games. So that's pretty cool inclusion. I did spot in the trailer they showed, like the moves trailer, I did see my boy Agunimon. So as I was telling John earlier, my one hope and prayer is that you gave us Agunimon and Lobomon up to Susunomon in Hacker's memory. I want the other legendary warriors. That's what I want.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that. The other thing is, in Hacker's memory, you got them so late.
True.
By the time you got them, they were irrelevant.
Yeah, true. I mean, I still kept Susunomon in my party, but you did get them very late.
Yeah, it's like you kind of just carried them because you liked them.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah, because I mean, I love Digimon Frontiers. I mean, that is still my favorite Digimon season. So give me the other legendary warriors and their beast forms, just like you did in Hacker's Memory. Because you got a Gunimon and Blazing Greymon, and then like the Emperor Greymon was like the ultimate form. Give me the same thing where I get like Beetlemon and Mecha Kabuterimon and what I want all of those. I want all the other warriors. That's what I want. But I did also see they had Shoutmon in the game. Shout out to that former main Digimon partner there, as well as some of the other most recent shows seem to be getting a little bit of a focus as well. So the Digimon pool for this is going to be sick. Very excited. Like I said, my one hope is give me all the legendary warriors. That's what I want. Give me that, and I will cry tears of joy. But no, I mean, it looks great. I mean, like the details that we got, it was like a 25-minute video of them just talking about the game for what's to come. Still no firm release date, just 2025. So I hope that means it won't get delayed. I'm scared.
I think it's probably gonna be like, if I had to guess, fall, sometime around there. Because I don't think they'd want to go into the year.
Right. Yeah. Just the fact that we still haven't gotten a month is the only thing that worried me. Like, at least give me like a time range. Give me that fall date. So I just hope it doesn't get delayed. But if it does, you know what? Let them cook. Let them cook. We have some other stuff to play this year. We got Crimson Desert coming out this fall. I was gonna say like we'll be fine. But
when we first got this like trailer showing it off, all I could think back to was I think it was like a year ago. There was like a tweet or something from like the Digimon Games team that were like, we got stuff. It's like we're working on stuff. Mm-hmm. It's like we got a couple games we're working on. I think one of them may have ended up being Survive. It may have been a couple years ago that this tweet was around, but it was basically like we have stuff in the work. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I wonder if this is what they're talking about, or maybe we got another one coming too. Because aside from that one thing like two years ago, probably it's been radio silent. Yeah, we don't ever hear anything about it.
Right. So, I imagine probably like sometime over the summer we'll probably get another big update. A nice little trailer, whether it be at Summer Game Fest like the Xbox Showcase or something. That's my guess. Yeah. And hopefully then get a firm release window of it coming out next year or this fall, or just give us the release date, whatever it's going to be.
I think we'll see something probably at Summer Games Fest.
Yeah, that's my guess. But no, the trailer for it was really exciting. It's a very exciting time to be a Digimon fan because it's also kind of it's also really cool to finally get like a really nice mobile game for the TCG. I mean, that's gonna be
Any
really
clue how to play it?
Besides what John randomly sends me on a random blue moon of a match, just completely with no context.
I guess there was a period of time where I found a channel.
I remember that.
Yeah, where they would just play different decks against each other. And like once every few days, I would just send it to Alex.
Yeah.
And then like a month would go by and I'd watch a couple more. I'd be like, hey, go watch this.
Yeah. So I'll learn. I mean, I'll figure it out. I will download the game and I'll figure it out. It'll be fun. I'll be looking forward to that whenever it comes out. And then whatever the new anime is going to be as well. It's coming out in October. I tried the last one. I tried talking
Adventure?
No. It was like Digimon, like, was it Ghost something? I talked about it on AniMan Plus briefly.
Yeah, it was like Digimon Ghost or some crap like that.
Yeah. I tried that one. I only got about like I think maybe 8 episodes in. I didn't get very far. Need to go back to that one. But you know, shout out to the Digimon Con though. A lot of cool stuff that came out of it. I told John this. I got so damn excited this morning when I woke up.
Okay.
Because you know, literally just 2 weeks ago, I talked about Rumble Arena 2 for my game of the week.
Okay.
And I said in there, I would love to get a new game. And John's like, "Whoa, buddy! I mean, we're already, eating for, reaching for scraps here just to get a new story game, whatever." So when I woke up this morning, I hopped on Twitter. Like one of the first videos I was on my Twitter feed was like Omnimon transformation and Digimon Super Rumble. I'm like, did we get a new Rumble? And it's just like I'm going through the comments, and it's just like, oh man, I really wish they'd bring this game over to America, whatever.
It's Japanese
only.
only.
Yeah, so it's been out for a while, kind of thing, and I'm just like, fucking this shit is stupid. Oh God, I want a new Rumble Arena. That'd be so sick. So here you go, Zach. I got you, buddy. Steve said, so I'm just gonna say it. AniMan Plus needs to come back. I do agree. I do agree.
You gonna come record it, bro?
I do agree. It does, my friend. It does. ATFS also needs to come back here in the near future. So, shout out to Gamesthetic, though. Gamesthetic running strong. Having a good time with Gamesthetic. But AniMan Plus does need to come back. I will say that. It needs to happen at some point. It needs to happen. But no, overall, though, all the Digimon stuff was pretty sick. Yeah, now it's just waiting for the next update. I think we wasted like 10 minutes here. Just like we did with every little tidbit of information on Black Myth. We're doing our job. We did it.
Oh, don't sugarcoat. We drug out Black Myth.
I know.
I know. We would take a 2-minute trailer and talk about it for 45.
I know.
That's nothing. People do that all the time by finding all the Easter eggs, crap, and whatnot from trailers and whatnot.
Right? Yeah. I mean, true.
This ain't nothing new.
Yeah. No, it's nothing new. It's nothing new. You're right. You're right. All right, let's shout out a sponsor. Let's shout out Rogue Energy. Use the referral link down below. Promo code Sparky3 to get 10% off your order. But hey, if they got a better sale going on, no big deal. Use the referral link down below, and you can still help out the brand and use whatever code or whatever sale they got going on. It's all good. But hey, if you still just want to use promo code Sparky3 to get 10% off and support us further, we'd appreciate that. Whether it's Hydration, Chill, or the Energy Line, they're all fantastic. With that, thank you so much. Nah, Zach, you both gave me some good ads to the watch list. I mean, we discovered some good shit. I will always, and forever be thankful for our time with AniMan Plus. Obviously, it's not dead. It's not. Zach, don't give me that look. The brand is not dead. It will return at some point, 100%.
I mean, we can do it all the time. It's like Attack on Titan. We'll just constantly have final seasons.
Yeah, constantly. Final season part 4. Final season part 17.
I like how it's just so ingrained that when he breaks up AniMan, I'm going to give it shit.
Yeah.
Or like when you guys start talking about anime, I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
To the point where like you make a face and he's like, come on, Zach. I make one and he's like, I'm not even going to reference that.
Yeah, I'm not even looking over there. I'm ignoring that corner completely. You're talking like it's being lowered into the ground. They're trying to lower it. I'm trying to pick it back up here.
What do you mean lowered? It's been in the ground.
What do you mean ground? It's not even at the stratosphere anymore.
It's been in a coma. That's it. All right, it's been in a very long coma.
Put it in the ground, but didn't cover it. Meanwhile, like anytime you guys start talking, I'm kicking dirt.
No, it's just on the shelf. That's it. It's just on the shelf. It's collecting dust on the shelf. A lot of dust, mind you. Don't clean these shelves. But it's on the shelf. It's fine. It's gonna come back at some point. All right. It's gonna be great when it does. But no.
Hey, you know what did come back this week?
What's that?
MLB The Show came back this week.
Shout out to MLB The Show.
I just wanted to get away from that.
Well, now we have to circle back now.
No, we don't. We don't
have to because I could actually talk about this.
Well, hold on, because Steve's asking why the hate. I'm confused.
Hey, we'll just move on. Yeah. We're gonna if we keep on it, you're just gonna keep talking in circles.
Look, all right, hold on. There's no hate. It's just all memes. It's all memes. It's just an ongoing joke with how it's just been so long since there's been. It's been like 2 years now, I think. Yeah. Right? Yeah. It's just an ongoing joke. It will return at some point. It's just life, man. Just busy. But anyway, yeah. MLB The Show. Yeah. Shout out to that.
MLB The Show did come out this past week. It came out on Tuesday. I played a little bit of the previous game on Game Pass, but I didn't ever actually pick it up. Picked this one up. My brother bought it for me, and I've been playing it. Been playing a lot of Road to the Show over the past couple days. Really enjoyed it. They added some stuff to Road to the Show. They did make some changes to it because for the previous several games, upgrading your character in Road to the Show was more along the lines of how you didn't actually put stats into things. It was just as you played. Like if you were, it would just upgrade over time through playing the game. Now you actually like based on your performance, you gain points in the game, and after the game, it calculates points up, and you get tokens that you can then put into your stats. So you can have generalized stats. They have 4 main categories, as like power, contact, or 5 categories. I don't remember what one of them is, but it's power, contact, fielding, and throwing that you can upgrade. And it's like they all start out at like 40, I think. And then as you upgrade them, like every 10 times that you level it up, the cost increases. So it's like at level 40, some of the stats will cost like 3 tokens to go up 1 point. But in each of those categories, there's subcategories. So for like power, there's power versus left, power versus right, and then I forget the other one. But each generalized thing has like subcategories within it, and you can level up. You can go down and level up each subcategory, and like save points by only like if you wanted to level up power from right-handed hitters, that's cheaper than just generalized upgrading it.
Yeah.
But yeah, each tier that you go up, it increases. So like I think power started out at 4, then went to like 6, 12, and I think where I'm at now, it costs 23 tokens to go up 1 point. So it's like it gets exponentially more expensive to upgrade the higher stats, which honestly I don't think I'll take too long because I'm about to be called up to the called up into the majors. And I like my power is in the 70s. Everything else is kind of like 50. It's like once it started getting more expensive, I was like, I might as well. I can get like
just commit.
I was like, I could put like 7 or 8 points in these other things in each of these other ones for every 1 level that I'm getting over here.
Yeah.
So kind of playing some catch up there. But in the Road to the Show, they did add a little bit of extra to it. So you actually start out as like a high school senior playing through like the state championships. And it's kind of a generalized, you pick if you're like central, western, eastern, and then you play through that. Based on your performances there, you can get, or different teams get interested, or like will offer you like a contract to play for them. And then you can attend like the MLB draft like showcase, and then you'll like go play some games there and do some training, and based on your performance there, it raises your draft stock. So you can either go straight into the draft and go straight to like AA, or you can play through college. And for college, you just play your senior year going through like the College World Series, which it was fun to play through. But it's one of those where you kind of just play through it, trying to see if you can get yourself to number 1 overall draft pick. I was not number 1 overall on my first character. I was number 25.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Did go in the first round, which was nice.
That's important.
Because after the like the series of high school games, I was projected a 5th round pick.
Yeah.
So
What happened in college?
in college, I did pretty well.
Yeah.
My timing, I hadn't played an MLB game in like a year.
Yeah.
Or like probably like 8 months. So my timing on swinging and everything was horrible. But yeah, playing through it, the actual like gameplay wise, there's a few funky things with the camera right now. Base running, I'm still getting used to, because it'll be like a direct, like, because when you're running the bases, the camera will naturally follow the ball as it's going. But but it used to just be like if you held in the if you're on second, you hold the direction at third base, you would just run there.
Yeah.
But if the camera's going, the direction you have to hold on the stick changes now.
Oof.
So there's been a few times where I get caught up, running back and forth, and get thrown out. It's been a little annoying. But there's like little changes they've made too, which is kind of cool. Where, like when you slide, like if you're doing a head first slide into a base, you could actually use the right thumbstick and actually dodge the tag, which something I don't know. I don't think you could do that before. And it's like little features like that which make like the people who are going to be really playing the game a lot, and especially like online, make it a little more interesting. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I've been enjoying the hell out of it so far.
Shout out to Steve. Steve said in college he did steroids. That's why he jumped up the draft board so much.
I didn't have the option, but probably would have taken it.
Oh.
No, I didn't. My draft stock didn't rise high enough to see like what all schools would like accept me. Mm-hmm. I had offers from 24 schools for my first character. So when I go back and make another character for Road to the Show, I'll be making a pitcher next. So I imagine I will get more offers from that because I generally do better at pitching than actually batting, even though I spend most of my time playing like a position player.
Right.
But yeah, really enjoying it. It's like overall, it's largely the same, like the show that we've been playing. Small tweaks here and there that they make improvements every year.
Right.
So far, I'm happy with what they've done.
Nice.
And I'm gonna keep playing it. This is like I'm gonna sit down and play this for 45 minutes game.
Yeah. No, it's always so interesting to see MLB The Show come out because it's like people just don't talk about it to the same level as, let's say, like, NBA 2K or, obviously now college football. But it's like, God bless, if MLB The Show is not one thing, it is damn near at the top consistent.
It's
very consistent.
It's a freaking banger every year.
It is one that's like they nailed the quality like 7 years ago.
Yeah,
and since then it's just been iterated on, and it comes out better and better every year.
Yeah,
and it's one where it's like, yeah, they don't make a whole lot of noise, they don't make a whole lot of waves when the game comes out, but goddamn, it's probably one of the most consistent franchises that are out there.
100%, 100%. Yeah, because it's like, in terms of the sports game space, there's such a huge focal point on Madden, now college football, and NBA. Like, that's the biggest focal point, just like the whole my career stuff with NBA, just like players, like streamers putting years of their life into a player. You know what I mean? And it's like MLB doesn't get that same sort of hype and love that it deserves, but God bless, is it not just consistent as hell?
Question for you, John, since we're on baseball. Did you see the Tokyo Dome game?
No.
It was the Dodgers and crap. Who else was it?
Crap. Who was it?
More or less, the MLB went to Japan and played at the Tokyo Dome as a big game, and for some reason, also had a bunch of Pokemon stuff associated with it.
Yeah.
Because now we have Nightmare Fuel Pikachu.
No, MLB's been doing in the past. It's really only been like the past 2 years.
Yeah.
They're getting a lot more involved with
in the East,
because MLB. One, they finally realized that Japan has the best baseball players on the planet.
Oh, Otani's amazing.
Yeah, Otani's
top tier. It's not even just.
Oh, it's not Otani.
It's not even just Otani. It's like their culture around baseball is
insane.
Insane's the perfect word for it.
Yep.
But not in a bad way.
They've it's one of those where only in the past few years has it really come to light. It was really with the World Baseball Classic
because
that started to be known.
Because one of the things with the whole opening ceremony of it, they had the initial first pitch, which was funny enough done with a Pokeball, and then they played a whole video on the Megatron of all the just notable, mostly a lot of Japanese, but it's just Asian players in general that have gone to the MLB across from I think the earliest one was like from the 80s and then all the way up to current.
Yeah. There's some good documentaries out there about, especially like Japanese baseball, like philosophy and kind of how their structure works, and also like how it is playing there. Because for a long time, it was illegal for if you signed to a team, you were signed to that team for life.
Yeah.
And it was impossible, or pretty much impossible, to then go to MLB. But yeah, no, it is kind of like crazy how impactful that's become.
Yeah.
But yeah, MLB The Show. I mean, it's really the only baseball game that's out there anymore, besides
Yeah.
like arcadey ones. Which
Yeah.
of the arcadey ones, Super Mega Baseball is
And
the top dog in that space.
then there's Out of the Park, which is more sim than
Out of the Park is a management sim.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only real options we have. Is we have the arcadey version, we have the show, which I mean, there's a reason why the show is the only one that's left around.
Yeah, there's a good reason behind it.
Yeah.
Until Backyard Sports.
Yeah, until Backyard Sports makes its big return with whatever new game it's got cooking right now.
But yeah, it will be the show. It's good as it always is. They've made improvements to it, and one of the like cool things about it, it was only on PlayStation for a long time. Last year was the first year that they came across to Xbox, and it was on Game Pass last year.
You sure? Because I remember playing Show 24 on Xbox.
It might
Yeah,
have been 2
last year
years.
was 24. They actually keep whatever year it is. That's what year the game is.
Maybe I'm thinking of 23. Because I know I played it for like 2 years back to back on Game Pass.
It may have been 23, but
think it was
It
23.
was only in
I
the
think it was a
last like
couple years
year or
ago.
two
Yeah.
that they went to Game Pass.
Yeah.
And now
and it
even
was
on Switch
one
too.
of the craziest things was like, because there were a few people that I watched that like would play the online and do the online dynasty and that, and when it came to Xbox for the first time, they'd be sitting there like, oh man, we're playing it. They're like, we got all the new Xbox people. It was just the happiest thing. They're like, more people are going to be playing it now.
Yeah, especially with Game Pass. You know what I mean? Like that just opens up to such a massive audience for you.
Yeah. So it has come out now. If it's something you've played before and just didn't know it was out now, the new one is out, and if you've ever enjoyed it in the past, you'll still enjoy it. It's still
have a
great.
good time. Yep. I also checked out a new game this week. I checked out 33 Immortals, this new action roguelike game that's featuring 33 players at the same time. You know, trying to.
How does that work? Do you just
If I remember correctly, wasn't the whole thing like you start with 33, but if you die, you're out?
So yes, so there are 3. All right, so I've only played a couple hours. So I can't go into an incredible amount of details, but I can give you the base of what's happening. So when you come in, there are 3 main levels. You have the Inferno. I think the second one was Purgatory, and then the last one will be Paradise, or Purgatory and Paradise is swapped. Either or. Those are your 3 levels, and they each go down in player count. So Inferno is your 33 player count. Then you got 22 and you got 11. They each scale in difficulty as well. And you need to continue to play all 3 to get to the last one, which let's say it was Paradise. You need to continue to play the original 2 to continue to play Paradise, because you complete an Inferno round, you defeat Lucifer the Morning Star, you get the keys to get access to the second one, and you have to beat the second one to get access to the third one, so forth, right? But in terms of the players, you're all spread out across a map. So maybe in one section that you're spawned in, there's only like 5 or 6 of you around. Just kind of in one little corner. You can do left trigger at any time and pull up the big map and see all the main points and see where all the players are. If you do go down, you can be revived, but if you do fail to get revived, then yes, you do die and you are out. And you have a ticker up on the top right that is continuing to indicate you on how many players are still active in the total round. You're really never all together until the boss fight. You're all spread out because you have different objectives that you need to complete, including going into the torture chambers that will spawn up, where only 6 players can go into a torture chamber at one time, which is a small condensed area with just a horde of monsters continuing to spawn and go after you. And you have to complete X amount of torture chambers to further progress to get to the boss. I think for like Inferno, it's like you need to complete 12 torture chambers that pop up throughout the map. Torture chambers in there is whenever you complete it, there are 2 chests, which is where you can get items to further like increase or buff your character. You can also choose to re-roll it, etc. And then as you're kind of going around the map, taking out different enemies, picking up bones, you can take those bones to torture chamber altars to maybe increase your health or maybe give you a key to unlock these chests inside the torture chamber or a teleport shard, as well as there are other ports on the map that you can go to. As you kill enemies, you got like this little potion bottle thing down the bottom right that will fill up, which you can take that to also give you more health, more damage, or more defenses, essentially. As of now, since this is a game preview, it is on Game Pass and everything, there are only 4 weapons. I would probably assume more will come over time. Right now, it's just daggers, sword, bow, and a magic staff is all you got at the moment. The gameplay feels very fluid. I mean, I completed a round of Inferno earlier. My first round played, completed that. Went and tried round 2. Yep, difficulty definitely scaled. That is for sure. Did not complete that one. We did lose, unfortunately. But you know, as you go through it, you know, you can further get leveled up. Like once you hit like level 4, you unlock another perk point that whenever you're back in like the woods area, like your hub world, you can continue to add more perk points to you, where it's just like, you know, adding health or defense or attack or whatever, or maybe adding like a skill, like a perk where it's like, you know, you have effects that last 35% longer on enemies, whatever the case is. You also have ultimates, which are kind of neat how they're set up. The ultimates are kind of cool. Where as you're left, it pops in your bottom left corner as it builds up. So like I'm playing bow right now.
Okay.
As it builds up, once it's complete, you initiate the ultimate and it spawns like a couple of lines and circles that begin loading up on the ground. And whenever it spawns like little I don't know another word other than like transmutation circle, you know, on the ground, whatever, runes or whatever. You need other players to help activate that ultimate. You cannot activate your ultimate yourself, or at least for the ultimates that are in the game now.
Okay.
So for the bow, I have to have a total of 3 people, myself and 2 others. They go to these other points. We all activate it together, and then it sends out just a flurry of arrows in one direction, activating the ultimate. There are others that only require 2 that I've seen that are like maybe like defense buffs or whatever, where one person spawns it, the other one comes up. I'll run over there and I'll activate it with them. But you know, and if you get off that center point as well, it also goes back to 0 in terms of like, you know, not all 3 active. So like you kind of, it makes it kind of challenging, especially if like you're in torture chambers or you're in your boss fight or whatever. Cause like if you're going to be the one to kind of be there and be activated, like you all have to get on that point at the same time.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, all right, I activated, I'm going to run over here and fuck off, you know, cause like, oh, I did my part. No. If you kind of go away from that, like your point as well is no longer active. So all you have, that's where the teamwork really comes into play of, you know, if you're running through this into the main open world, don't stray too far from the pack, you know, and just kind of go kill a bunch of stuff. Try to stay with whatever pack you're in. And it's going to be the same concept that you're trying to go into torture chambers, because torture chambers, doing it by yourself is challenging. Can be done. It is challenging. You know, you can do it with just 2 people as well. You know, I started a torture chamber earlier where it was just me and one other guy for a majority of it. And then 4 more people came in later. And you can also join into a torture chamber very late. Because I was, you know, helping out someone on the overworld map, and I saw there was a torture chamber right down below where I was that had 5 of 6. So I'm like, all right, let me pop down there and go help them out real quick. I popped in, killed like 3 enemies, and it was over. And it was like, okay, yeah, they already had this, but I still get the opportunity to get rewards. So I was like, okay, well, that's cool. I'm glad. It's like, hey, I helped. I participated. I showed up. So I get stuff. But no, I mean, it was a lot of fun. That's a game that I feel like would be definitely a lot of fun with friends. I got that vibe. My first thought was, I think you 2 would really enjoy this game more than me. I enjoyed it, but I think you guys would really fuck with it. It is a pretty interesting concept. It is pretty cool. It being game preview, obviously there's a lot more to come as time goes on, but as it is now, it is fun, and it is something I would definitely recommend, especially since it is on Game Pass. I mean, it's worth a check. If you got some friends that enjoy like action, roguelike games, it's worth a check out. It may not be the best thing you've ever played, but it's an interesting concept. It's very, it's very stylized. I love the stylistic approach to the game, so it's very visually appealing in that regard. But honestly, it's just fun to play. The gameplay feels fun. I enjoy it.
I'd be curious, like if you went into it with a buddy and was playing it, it would there'd have to be a way for them to like detect parties of people coming in and make sure you spawn close to each other. Otherwise, that would suck.
I would actually be curious about that as well. Like if all of us went in and we all spawned in
if
different
we went
areas.
in, if we spawned on 3 different corners of the map, then I'd be like, oh, this is less fun.
Right, yeah, because you want to play with your friends. No, I would assume there's probably like a party detection system.
Yeah, I would assume that they have something like that, and if not, it would be something that would be added.
Yeah.
Oh, most definitely. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you'd just be rolling the dice every game. Be like, okay, well, I'm up here. Well, we're over here. I guess I'll see you at the boss.
right. It's like I'll see it. I'll see it at the boss when we get there. The boss fight was pretty entertaining as well. So for like Lucifer,
Is there different bosses or so far just one?
I don't know yet. Since I haven't beat the second one, I haven't bothered to like look it up myself. All I know is Lucifer for the first one. I would assume there's probably a different one each time because whenever I did beat Lucifer, I got like a cosmetic attachment for it, which is like, hey, you beat Lucifer, show this off, whatever. So I would assume there's probably a different boss each time. But no, the boss fight, Lucifer has basically 10 stages of health that you go through, and you could melt it. I'm telling you up front, you can melt it. Like his first stage went by like that. We melted it. But what makes the fight difficult and last a while, oh man, you're moving a lot. Like, there are points where it's like, okay, here's your
I would assume it's like a MMO raid fight.
Yeah, no, 100%. You are moving a lot. It's like when we started off, it was pretty chill, and as things went on, like the different attacks or different enemies popped up or different whatever. So it's like, at first, like some attack examples is he'll have like some sort of like swooping like claw attack that will only take up, let's say, quadrants. Like I'm gonna call it quadrants with how it's broken up, where it'll only attack like 1 and 2, for example, or it'll have like a ranged attack that will only hit 2 and 3, so you can stay up in 1 and just kind of continue to shift where you're standing throughout the 3 main areas that he's attacking. Or he'll spawn enemies on the map that is going to be running around trying to attack you as well, and they have like multiple kinds of attack points, whether it's like super long or just like large circles on the ground, whatever. There's a lot happening, but when you have your opportunity to attack, you can absolutely melt them. You can melt a whole part of his health pretty quickly. But I don't know. I mean, it maybe took us like, I don't know, at most like 8 minutes, 10 minutes to kill the boss. So not terrible, but I mean, it was fun nonetheless. I had a good time. Then at the end of it, you get to see all your final stats, which is how everyone in the lobby did. Just like, I guess, like how many kills, like, how many chain combos they had, stuff like that.
You got damage breakdown?
I did not see the damage breakdown.
Oh, man.
I would love to see that. That's what I would want to see, especially as you continue to scale up your damage throughout the game.
all that makes...
There probably is one there, and I'm a dumbass and didn't see it.
I mean, I probably would like it because I'm very much like dungeon crawling and just raid fights. Because one of my favorite things of like the game Exoprimal, which I think servers are down now, was when you got to the missions where it would just glitch out, and instead of being a 5v5, it suddenly became a 10 versus raid boss.
Right.
Because those were always very fun because it was just a mixture of, oh, we think we're fighting each other, because you're never sure when that mission's gonna pop, and just it's like glitch out, and we're like, oh, all right. Everyone just gets their guns ready. It's like, let's go to town.
Right.
Yeah, definitely sounds interesting. I'll probably end up checking it out now, because I'm kind of like you, Zach. I've started to appreciate more like dungeon crawling games.
Yeah,
it's like, I mean, hell, one of my most anticipated games now. I don't know when it's coming out. Sometime 2025 probably is at Fellowship, which is just a dungeon crawling game.
Which I did actually play a little about that. That monk tank is weird.
I haven't tried them. There was too much text happening when I was trying to read it to understand it. That's what Peter was playing.
Monk tank was a lot of more or less for. I would actually need like for me to do it properly. Would actually have to having a piece of paper and remap skills to be able to do it orderly, because it was. You had 3 main skills when they did different things based on which one was first, which one was second.
Very, very combo oriented and that. I didn't end up playing them. I didn't play any of the tanks. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that game.
It was fun the bit I played.
Steve said in chat, damage meters or it doesn't matter. And I would agree. And there very well could be one there. Like I said, I just didn't see it because I'm a dipshit. But also just keep in mind, this is early preview. So
Shoot, I don't care about damage meter. I was always healers and raids. All I cared about was the heal meter.
yeah, that's fair.
Damage meters, they're not necessary, but man, it's a fun dick measuring contest.
That's why it's needed.
Yeah, it's like in a game like that, it's less important.
Yeah.
But it's like when you're playing like a dungeon crawler game, and it is like you compete against another DPS or a couple more. It's like, all right, let's do this.
Right.
It's like you see yourself falling down. It's like I gotta lock in.
Yeah.
It's like fuck the mechanics. I gotta lock in.
But no, 33 Immortals, man, is worth a check out, especially since it is on Game Pass. It's probably a fun one to pick up with some friends. So definitely worth a look. I'm probably gonna play it some more. I had fun playing it earlier. All right, let's shout out some merch stuff. I do have a graphic now, finally. Let's shout out some Agent Ink as well as Sparky3Shop.com. You can use the referral link down below to go over to Agent Ink and pick up the Sparky3 jersey or the hat, the Sparky3 hat or the trash can hat, or head over to Sparky3Shop.com and pick up one of our shirts, whether it be the Gamesthetic shirt, Sparky3 shirt, ATFS, the B, the Lonely Boy, and the fan favorite We Have Hats hat. And it's all available over there at Sparky3Shop.com, or you can head over to Agent Ink with the referral link down below. We'd appreciate that extra support. Thank you.
Zach,
So
you got anything you want to talk about FragPunk this week? You weren't here last week.
Yeah, before we hop over to Persona 4 and other
I mean,
BS.
I'm honestly not sure what all you touched on last week because I mean,
Last week kind of just expanded upon what we previously said. Briefly mentioned like how the rank mode works, since we touched on that since then.
I mean, not really. I mean, it's still a very fun game, and enjoying just having all the cards now. They do add just a wild assortment of chaos based on pools and whatnot. Overall, gunplay still feels nice. My biggest thing now with FragPunk at the point we are at, John, is I will be very curious to see what the first new Lancer they're going to add.
Yeah, that's a big
and
one.
see how they'll either continue the current playstyle we have or what they will add to change the playstyle and what people may focus on. Because, I mean, there is a hard, not necessarily a tier list yet, but of characters that people are much more leaning towards versus others. Like, I don't see very many Axums, see very few Spiders. Heck, if I wasn't playing Chum, we probably wouldn't see a whole lot of Chums.
Yeah, aside from you in the brief bit I played him earlier, you never see him.
Like, we see Chums rarely. The main consistents are mostly all of our teleport characters, trap-heavy characters, mobility of some vision impairment, all the very heavy utility characters, and very little of the more gimmicky frontrunner characters like Krona. Don't see a whole lot of Krona as a very good pusher character.
Yeah, it's like don't see him too much. Even one of the trap characters like Jaguar, we don't see very many of them. It's like I'm playing him, and I think this past week we only saw like maybe 3 or 4.
A lot of people
them.
have fallen off Jaguar, even though he is actually still solid for the whole mix-up.
Yeah, I already enjoyed him. One of the changes they made to him has made him rise up as like one of my favorite characters, just because like you gain almost as much information from playing him as you do if you play Sonar.
Yeah.
It's just less. It's more information for you, whereas Sonar tells the entire team.
Yeah, Sonar's more support reveal information versus Jaguar is a very good tracking character. Like if you think an enemy character is like split pushing or sort of hiding, he's a very good character to hunt people down with.
Any word on when the new Lancer is going to come?
No word as of currently. They have not said jack.
Yeah, I would be very interested in a new Lancer.
Yeah, whatever new cards are going to come as well.
Yeah, either new cards. I'd be interested in any additional maps that are coming.
Maps are always a big thing in games like this, but those usually come with big updates.
Yeah.
Same with Lancers. In terms of additional cards, I mean, that'll be nice to see. It's not as big of a thing as I'm concerned about, just because I know John mentioned that once you get to a point, the cards still have a precedence. It's more of a play around them than play about them. in terms of just overall gameplay. So
Yeah. It's like some of the cards are still very impactful on what actually, like, they change how the round is going to be played. A lot of it is just like additional utility, or a lot of the more popular cards are additional utility of how the round to help you out during the round, as opposed to round changing.
yeah, because I think the biggest thing which we have yet to really see, just because we mostly play just the standard, is just character switching to be more advantageous for certain things, like when we do Misty Sight, switching to a bunch of scan characters who are able to reveal people.
Honestly, like I feel like while we're playing, I never hardly see anybody switch, and yet half the time I'm switching between offense and defense. I'm switching, like, I may be enjoying a character, but we'll get a map, and I'll just be like, oh, this is a Jaguar map.
Yeah, definitely character kits are very much more suited for defense or offense, and then are much easier to use on certain maps than others. But I mean, there's still like the mainstays who almost always be in a map are usually Kismet. Kismet standard by far.
Yeah, I found my love for Kismet, and so did everyone else. So she's hard to get in a lot of games.
Because she's by far the most well-rounded Lancer just in general, because she can be easily played on both defense and offense. Nitro's usually pretty consistent, because she can just fortify up a zone real quick, whether on offense or defense. Pathogen is somewhat standard. She's sort of hit and miss. A lot of people like to play Zephyr, even though she's a hard infiltrator offense character, not so much defense, but goddamn if people don't push her.
She's in almost every match.
Um,
I was gonna say, like, two characters that I've seen fall off like harder than I thought they would. Well, one of them isn't surprising. Broker's fallen off. Serket has fallen off.
and I understand why, just because I play Serket.
Yeah, it's just one of those where it's like she was everywhere, but I think there's still the people out there who have, like, they learned Serket, and like because someone who knows what they're doing with her kit it's crazy.
Yeah, Serket's very much more position, allows for position transitions, just very much because her kit is a teleport, smoke, and a zone. So, I mean, she is a very sort of niche, but can be played very well. The other one I was going to add on to mainstay is Hollow Point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hollow Point. People love holding down with her sniper, but even aside from her sniper, her wall.
Yeah, her giant ass smoke screen.
Like her giant scanning smoke screen wall is one of the... God, that thing's annoying.
Yeah, her smoke's pretty strong. And then her just traps, her damn reveal traps, because they're actually fairly hard to spot. They don't make much of a sound cue, and by the time you notice, it's already on you and you're probably dead.
I was trying to think, because
I mean, Sonar's hit and miss.
Sonar is like, I feel like she starts out as people's like
safe pick.
Like, yeah, because that was me. She was like my safe pick, and I played her a lot until, like, playing her kind of helped teach me where people are likely to rotate from.
Yeah.
Based off her scan, and then once I got used to a lot of the rotations on the maps, then I've switched, and now I play more trap-focused characters.
Yeah, because, I mean, Sonar still has a very good kit. Her weakest ability is probably her pulse thing, because it takes too long for the secondary effect to happen, which is probably the biggest thing you honestly want from it, besides just the simple reveal.
It's like, yeah, it's also, if you don't charge it up all the way, it's very, very short range.
Yes. So, I mean, Sonar definitely has weak points, but still overall solid. Chum is gimmicky, and unless you know what you're doing with Chum, he is a bit hard to play. His kit seems very simple, but it's very situational.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because even when I was playing him earlier, because I've watched you play him a lot.
Yeah.
Because anytime you're playing him and I'm down, I'm like, let me go watch and see what he's doing over here. Because I thought I was going to love the character. But even while I was playing him, it's like, nothing quite works how you expect it to from reading how, like, you read the abilities, you go, I got this, and you start playing, and you go, that's not what I thought was going to happen at all.
Because Chum has a smoke, which actually you can throw it two ways. You can either throw it where it pops as soon as it hits something, or you can let it bounce to do some bouncing. Chomper, his fish pet, does different things based on whether you feed him, just set him down, or whatnot. So he's very situational. And then your actual explosive traps are actually fairly weak. They actually have a fairly short range. They're a very obvious trap. And so planting them, you have to be really bait people or just be very clever in how you place them. And it actually does damage based on how close they are to the actual explosive.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, even if they catch it, but they're far away, it may only do 20 damage to them.
Yeah.
If they're right on top of it, it usually maxes out at 100.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That his trap, I felt pretty good about placement on it, but that's because I've been playing Jaguar and I've found some pretty good spots that people don't check.
Yeah. And then Chomper. Chomper can either be a godsend or he can just be an annoyance.
Right.
Because Chomper's best feature is that he can sense out the enemies, and he, as soon as he starts charging them, he reveals them to everybody. Because I mean, we finished up last night. My Chomper was annoying and got us a double kill.
I had one of those round finishes like your Chomper.
Yeah.
Where it was. Placing him is kind of odd because he's very obvious. But I was like guarding the site.
Yeah.
And I placed him. Diffuser was like right up against a wall where you could go around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
I placed him on the other, like on the opposite side that the diffuser was on.
Yeah.
Right at the corner of it. They finished me off and like ran to diffuse. He's not anywhere in sight. As soon as they start diffusing, he's like, oh, there's someone over here, and rounds the corner and just takes him out.
That's great.
And the wildest thing with Chomper is just like even if you place him, he doesn't stay where you place him. He just has his own movement pattern.
Yeah.
And if he's placed like right at the very beginning of the map, which I do a lot of times on defense, he'll end up in a random hallway, not even near where he was.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll just catch people off guard.
He's just having a good time, man.
I mean, he really is.
Yeah, he's just there for the ride, dude. He's going on a little Chomper adventure.
But yeah, I will say with FragPunk, it's one of the things where, because one of my buddies that when I was playing with him earlier before you joined, Zach, he mentioned, he's like, man, I gotta get better at using my character's utility. Because you've said, or I think Alex has said, like in this game, since it's not like a standard hero shooter and it's like you pick your own weapons and stuff, he doesn't care who he plays. He'll fill in wherever he can.
Yeah, which is probably obviously horribly like noobish and basic of me, but I just don't care. It's whatever.
Yeah,
I'll play Nitro. I'll play Broker. I'll play whoever.
It's one of those things where it's like playing the different characters helps you understand what they can do.
Yeah,
and that. But yeah, one thing he mentioned, he was like, I don't use my utility near enough.
Yeah.
He's like when he goes down, he'll be on your camera too. He's like, man, Zach uses everything.
Yeah.
He's always he before he goes down, he makes sure he uses every little bit of utility he's got.
But we're still having an amazing time. Probably at some point we'll go back on the rank grind.
Yeah, we had a bad night.
Oh yeah, the other night, it was rough.
Yeah, we got carried in one match.
Talking about
hard.
Talking about last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got carried hard last night in one match. That was like our only victory. Until like I think we won like the last match.
Yeah, we won like a couple others right at the end, but yeah.
Yeah. We had a wall of gray in the history.
Oh no.
I praise and will always remember the name of the one who literally carried all four of us in their back.
To an extreme degree.
Like that person locked in and absolutely hated us.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't think they were big fans of our group because he was the one loner of our group. We had a team of 4, and I don't think I think he was cursing us to straight to hell. I don't think he was a big fan of our group. That's for sure.
Oh, also, if you're playing FragPunk, no, you cannot have my shark points.
That's still
Stop asking.
That's still
you cannot
a wild
have them.
thing that they put. I mean, I understand it from a competitive point of why you would put that in there, especially on higher ranked. If you want to have like a point man, if you're like in a full group, just so you have just
Defaulting to yes is wild.
yeah. But yeah, defaulting to when someone, because just in any game, someone can ask for your shard points, and if you don't say no, it'll just game going, oh, okay, they don't care. So yes, here's all their shard points.
Yep.
because we actually
That
had
last night was the first time that had happened to me.
yeah, there was a game where just John and me, and somebody was asking for the shard points every round.
Yeah, they got everyone else's, and we kept saying no. And every round they would try.
To the point where one of our other teammates was like, I hate whoever's doing this. And I actually went in voice chat and explained to them how to stop their points from being taken. And the worst part, the person wasn't even using the points. They were just doing it to be a troll.
Yeah,
Right.
they were just stacking the points. Like, they never picked anything.
Oh, you're toxic. That's toxic.
I mean, if John and me filled something all the way up to the end, they would add like the last point. But besides that,
yeah, that's toxic. What are we doing? Yeah, they need to change the default answer being yes. That's for sure. That needs to get changed. That's crazy work because it did happen to me last night because I wasn't paying attention. And I just heard John say, "Yeah, Alex is sure it's gonna take it." And I'm like, "Oh fuck, my bad."
and the worst part of it, it's not even for that single round. Like for the rest of the game until you turn off the thing that's allowing them to take your points, it'll give your shard points to them every round.
That's crap. I mean, I do agree with you. I see the benefit to it.
Oh yeah,
You know,
I definitely
in
see
in
in
high-ranked
higher
play,
tier
yeah.
play. Yes, most definitely. Just having one person focus on what card you're going to run. Yes, most definitely.
Yeah, or maybe like you're a pretty experienced player and you've got a bunch of friends coming in that have never played, and you're like, "Hey, let me take your shards, whatever, something like that." Maybe. Yeah, I could see it, but
No, I'm not that way because I was playing with my buddy earlier, and we'd be at a round. He'd go, "Oh, I didn't know we had that." But I'm like, "Read the cards."
It is sort of interesting though because the card spread and matchmaking has been interesting because as I mentioned to you, John, I did hop onto my second Steam account and farm the level to 15 for the whole invite a friend thing. And like when I was farming on that account for about an hour, I saw so many different assortment of cards that we never saw in our early games.
Oh, okay.
So just the spread from the initial opening week to current of just how the cards lay out for people to play with is pretty much completely open now because like in like one of the first two games I saw the high-end cards of heavy armor and blood moon, and you get both of those two really late.
Yeah. Oh, before you hopped in earlier, had a round. I got to finish the round with a double kill as a zombie.
oh, that's 10 out of 10. That's 10 out of 10.
I went. They got me. Forgot about me. I took out the person defusing and then sprinted across the room to take out the broker.
Was it last night we had a standoff with an enemy team zombies where we had killed them? We were on site and like they were hiding behind stuff, but me and the other person were like, "Yeah, we're not pushing this. I don't want to deal with this," because it was just a very clustered room.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was I wanted to mention that because that was funny because most of the time I'm like.
Most of the time as a zombie, you just die.
Most of the time, I'm like, why are we picking this card? We're never doing
it's
anything.
fun.
Even that round, I was like, why? Fine, you guys want this, we can have it. And then finish the round, and I'm like, well, that's the most useful that card's ever been.
Yeah, I mean that's all I got for FragPunk. That's the weekly FragPunk update. We can move on.
No weekly Marvel Rivals update. I've been busy and I haven't really played anything at all this week.
That's a lie. You've been on 2K.
Yeah, yesterday and today. That's it.
Yeah.
Haven't done anything else all week.
That's not true.
That is true.
You played FragPunk with us last night.
I said besides yesterday and today.
I can talk about WrestleQuest,
Oh yeah, we still got WrestleQuest. Well, hang on.
or we want to save that for later.
Let me hit the Persona thing first, since it's title related, whatever. And then right after Persona, we'll hit WrestleQuest because I do want to hear your thoughts on this. Because all you told me earlier is that it's over the top wacky, and I would really enjoy it. So I do want to hear about this. But yeah, no, shout out to Persona 4. Apparently, remake on the way potentially. We shall see. Domain was recently listed and found. It was p4re.jp, which is the exact type of domain that Persona 3 Reload got when it was p3re.jp, and it was also found last year as well. Was it last year or year before?
Probably a year before.
Yeah, because it came out last year,
Yes.
right? Okay, yeah, so year before. So basically, how it went last time is that it was found a year before, and then 3 months later got revealed at the Xbox Showcase. And oh, would you look at that? We're 3 months away from the Xbox Showcase. So, and Summer Game Fest. I can't help but think, is it going to be the exact same setup And there was that news recently with the singer for like all the Persona 4 songs was posted that she was recently in studio, the studio that Atlas uses for pretty much every single game, which obviously could have been anything, but kind of like, is it this? Is it this? I even saw one of the voice actors quote tweet the news about this domain being found. Johnny Young Bosch, who voices what's his name? The antagonist. Well, never mind.
I was about to say that's a bit
Yeah,
spoiler.
don't answer that question.
But also, you just gave the voice actors, so anyone can
Well, at
look
this
it up.
point, I feel like you would know. So anyway, but yeah, he even quote tweeted it as well, where it's just like, I am ready. And it's just like, are you now, buddy? Are you now?
Well, here's the wild thing about that, because all this stuff came out, and I don't know how true it is, but some rumor leaked that because they did it with Reloaded, that all the golden stuff, most of the golden stuff is not going to be in this remake if it comes out, but it's actually going to be in a $30 season pass, which $30, but at the same time, I mean, Reloaded did the same thing, and they just also Game Pass the season pass.
Yeah, so it's probably going to be the exact same thing, honestly.
Allowing everyone to get episode Agus.
Yeah, which now, when seeing all this news, I'm very excited. I loved Persona 4. I loved it more than 3. I just recently played Persona 4 last year. Had a great time. I'm excited for this in big, fancy, high-def glory. But I saw this, I was like, okay, well, all right, so when's Persona 6 now? Like, is Persona 4 going to come out like this year? Is it going to be on the same timetable that Persona 3 was and come out early next year? And maybe end of next year be Persona 6? I don't know. Did you have a take on that?
Not really.
Okay, because that was
I was just in agreement with the video I sent you earlier today.
Did you send it on TikTok?
Yeah.
I haven't been on TikTok today.
It was a video of just it was the text was keeping the Protags Reserve a remake from getting it, and it's just you fighting the Protags of 1 and 2.
Right. I've seen a lot of people also talk about that, where it's just like, the Persona 1 and 2. It's just like, all right, it's gonna be ours. When's us?
It's not.
Yeah. When's it our turn?
It's not.
It's gonna come eventually. I feel
Probably
it.
not.
I feel it.
At most, we're gonna get a report of the PSP versions.
That's still better than nothing. It's better than nothing. But
you could probably see it on my camera over here when I had the realization kind of set it on me. I'm like, oh, I got a lot of Persona I got to hear about in the future.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, buddy. Oh yeah, buddy. No, but honestly, with kind of a timetable and stuff, my mindset is honestly like probably just going to repeat what happened last year.
Most likely.
First of the year, you're going to get a Persona 4 remake, and end of the year, you'll get Persona 6. Similar to last year, you got Persona 3 Reload. End of the year, you got Metaphor. That's kind of what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, you're talking 2026, right?
Yeah, 2026. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. And, but then again, they could also just be like, hey, Persona 4 remake comes out this fall, because like one thing that a lot of people pointed out was just like, hey, OG Persona 3 and OG Persona 4, like they reused assets on both, and that's how they came out so quick. They're probably doing the exact same thing with all the assets they made for Persona 3 Reload. They're just going to reuse everything for 4, so that's why it's probably coming. That's why development is probably coming along very quickly.
Would not surprise me. I mean, it worked fine for Reload.
Yeah, exactly. So if that's the case, the game very well could come out this fall.
The only thing I can do is cross my fingers, and it's not actually Persona 4, but it's updated Persona 4 Arena Max.
Yeah, I do actually want to play Persona 4 Arena. I almost picked it up recently. I found it at one of our stores recently.
I got both copies.
Yeah, I have one. I have one to play it. The Ultimax one.
Yeah, I got Arena and Ultimax.
Yeah, I do.
Those are actually two different games.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, I do actually want to play those games at some point.
It's fun just beating people with kanji with just random shit he finds on the ground.
True. Shout out to Kanji. What a legend. But no, Persona 4 remake though. Excited for it personally, just because I really enjoyed the game, and I also loved all the jokes where it's just like, oh man, I can't wait for this to come out, and then for us to get the Persona 5 remake after it. It's just like, who cares about Persona 6? We need a Persona 5 remake now. It's just like, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
You would buy it and play it.
I 100% would. You are correct. Love Persona 5.
This is the guy who finished Persona 5 and went, you know what I should play next? Persona 5 on Switch.
I did start it on Switch. I have not beat it. No, this is the guy that played Persona 5 and then immediately restarted Persona 5.
This is also the guy who joined along with the masses of Persona 5.
Yes. Yes, exactly. And I've worked my way back. I also want to play Persona 1 and 2 at some point.
No,
I've-
you don't.
Yes, I do.
I've tried. Persona's not my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
I've given it like 5 tries. I'm not doing it again.
That's fair. I do want to play them. I mostly want to play 2. I feel like 1 might be tough.
Tough's rough.
Yeah,
One's
yeah.
rough.
No, but I want to make it through 2 because I've seen so many people hold 2 in such a huge regard, like from a narrative standpoint.
The actual 2 or Internal Punishment?
So Internal Punishment's the one that I see talked about the most, but just Persona 2 in general, just like the whole thing, all of them. Because there's like 3 games, I'm pretty sure, isn't there?
No, there's 2. Well, I guess there's 3 versions. There's the original Persona 2. There's an Eternal Punishment,
And
which
like Innocent
is
Sin, right?
Innocent Sin's the original one.
Okay.
Internal Punishment is I may be getting these backwards because I would have to check which one I have at the house because I have the second version of Persona 2, which is actually a retelling of Persona 2 from the antagonist's point of view
Yeah.
versus Innocent Sin, which is the first one, which is the regular Persona 2 story. And then you have the PSP version, which is Innocent Sin with like small touches of internal punishment, but not enough to reveal the whole thing.
Gotcha. Yeah, see, I want to play. I want to play 2. People hold it in a really high regard, so I want to check that one out. But I'm a little scared to check out 1.
One's rough.
Yeah, I'm a little scared to play that one.
One's really polygon.
I'm scared about that one, but either
If
way,
you get the PSP version, it's fine. Just
Yeah.
my copy on the PlayStation, it's rough.
yeah, I would imagine. So how's WrestleQuest? Recently on sale with the Steam sale. Got it for $7.50. Good pickup there.
We mentioned it last week because it was one of the last things we talked about where I was like, you'd probably be interested in this. After playing it, you should absolutely pick this up at some point.
Okay.
So WrestleQuest it's a wrestling RPG where it's a world where all the characters are action figures, and the world is kind of dominated by wrestling. Everything is wrestling. There's promotions, and every different town has their own promotion that like they kind of work in to try to make their way up into the big leagues, which is PAW. And in this world, everyone looks up to and aspires to be Macho Man Randy Savage, to the point where he is kind of almost looked at as like a deity, to where when people go to sleep at night, like when the wrestlers go to sleep at night, they say their prayers to Macho Man. But the interesting thing is there's actually split stories. So you play as different sets, or like 2 different sets of characters, where on one side you're playing as a guy who is growing up trying to become, like, he wants to make his way into the big times, but like to him wrestling is life. It is everything. And he, like, characters will be talking about like it's like scripted matches, stuff like that. And he's like, "What do you mean scripted?" He's like, "What do you mean you have writers? What are writers? Why would you have writers?"
Right.
To him, everything is a shoot.
That's amazing.
The other set of characters is you play as a guy who his family owns the wrestling company there, and he is up like in a tag team there, and he's trying to help the rest, like, that company try to grow big, and at the same time trying to make his way into the big times. It is over the top, like, flashy, to the point where, like, there's a tutorial about, like, they have a tutorial in a whole section of like before the match starts, where you have to pick your like entrance where you walk down the ramp, where it has QTEs. You pick your pyro, you pick your music, you pick how you walk out. It's over the top and funny. And like some matches, you'll get in the ring and you'll have a back and forth promo segment where, like, depending on your answers, you build up hype for the match. Because the way it's a turn-based combat game, and the way that the combat, like the way special moves work, is certain moves can only be used if your hype level is high enough. So you can build up hype to, I think, 50 is the maximum that it can get up to. Certain moves you can't use unless you have a hype level of like 12 to like 25. And I think the highest one I've seen is 25. So it's like you try to hype up the crowd like with your entrance, with your promo segments, and then in the match there's different archetypes for your like the team you have, to where you could have like a brawler where like basic attacks do more damage, or if you defeat an enemy with a basic attack, you build more hype. And you have technicians who build up hype faster and do more damage with like their special abilities, which all of them are gloriously over the top. One of the characters, the first special ability you have, it's south of the border stunner. It's basically just a stutter that has, and it's like all the animations are over the top. Like you run forward, kind of kick them, grab them, and they jump way high up in the air before they land down in the stutter.
That's amazing.
Like almost every move, if you're on offense or defense, or like if you're attacking or they're attacking, there's like QTEs for like extra damage or dodging attacks, or like reducing damage or just hitting them back. It's kind of crazy. I think there's 5 different archetypes, from like brawler, technician, support, stuff like that. You could also have a manager, who the manager has their own stuff they can do, like can interfere from outside the ring, to like have their own special abilities that they can use. Mine doesn't have any yet. And there's also split paths in the game, where like I had a choice, like the manager I had a choice to either like go with him or someone else, and I went with him. So like there is kind of split story kind of stuff. The game's honestly pretty easy so far, or at least it feels very easy to me for the most part. But like they have like challenges in the match for building suspense, or like they call it dramatic moments actually, where like when you're in a match, like for a promotion, there'll be like side objectives where it's like it could be something like take out this enemy first, and then it's like the second guy, let him kick out so he can stage a comeback to like build drama for the match. Or it could be like beat the enemy within a certain number of turns, or like let them knock you out and kick out or something like that. Some of them I haven't done because it would be harder for me to let them do it than it would be just to like play the game. Like I would have to like sit there and actively try for like 10 minutes to try to complete it. So I was like, I don't feel like doing that right now, because it's usually like equipment rewards or like items and stuff that you would get from that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's been pretty fun so far. There's like little, I guess they're kind of like little mini dungeons that have like they have like roaming enemies that you can like fight throughout it to level up, and that usually culminating in a boss fight at the end of it. So far they've all been like quest related, which has been like the bosses have been kind of like
So are they
kind
like
of interesting.
underground rings or free agents?
So some of it is like you'll be facing people in like actual matches for the promotion.
Yeah.
But like all the matches take like if you find an enemy in the overworld, you go into a battle with them. You're in a ring just out in the wilderness.
Okay.
Like a ring appears. Certain enemies.
What is it? Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist Kingdom?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
certain enemies, like if certain enemies you can only beat by pinning them. So like if it's a wrestler or what they call a tough guy, you have to knock him down and then pin him to be able to defeat him. Other enemies, which
Macho Man's Wrestling Kingdom.
yeah, other enemies, you can just when you get their health down, it's just they're gone. They're
KO.
Yeah, it's just basically a KO. But yeah, those the special abilities as well. So each character gets their own special abilities, which they can use based on the amount of like action points that it costs, which is basically just the mana bar. Or they can use it based off the hype level. But then like you can have a team, like you can have a party of 3 people. So each person has their own abilities that they can use, which everybody kind of has their own like support abilities and then damage abilities. It's pretty clear which characters are supposed to be like supporty.
Yeah.
But they also have like tag team attacks and trios attacks. So to be able to do a tag attack, one like the character you want to initiate the attack with, you have to. One of the special abilities they have is like get ready for a tag attack.
Okay.
So then they'll step forward, and then the character, because like certain moves you can only do with certain groups of characters.
Gotcha.
So like you'd have to initiate the tag attack with them, and then like the other character actually use the tag attack. But yeah, there's tag attacks, trios attacks. It's all kind of crazy. All of them that I've gotten so far, they just get wilder and wilder. But yeah, it is. If you are like a fan of wrestling, then yeah, I highly recommend the game. I looked it up as well. Apparently, this game's like 37 hours long.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently, it's like a pretty decently long game.
Decent RPG. Because I remember, because I saw it right before it came out, and the only reason I didn't pick it up when it came out was just it initially came out with some sort of slightly game breaking issues, so I would let it sit, and I just haven't gone back to it.
I know you got it on a pretty solid sale. Is it worth the $30 pickup price, or wait for a sale?
Since I haven't beat the game yet, I would probably say like if you're a big wrestling fan and just want like an over the top, like it's a decent RPG. It's like I said, it's pretty easy though. I haven't come across anything that's been challenging yet.
Right.
I would probably say pick it up on a sale right now, but that could change the further I get into the game. I'm like
That's fair.
5.5 hours in right now. But I will say I have like laughed and like just like enjoyed playing it due to how wacky and over the top it is more in this game than I have in a while.
Good. Makes me want to just go ahead and get that $30 price tag. But
yeah,
we'll see. I got it on my wish list. If it hits me up soon, say, hey, it's on sale. Say less. Say less.
Yeah, no, it is so far. It is like it's fantastic.
Nice. Shout out to WrestleQuest. All right, boys, you ready to start going to the weekly wrap up?
Yep.
All right, bet. All right, so first we did have some other games come out this week, plus reviews for them. So first up would be like Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. Did come in at 87 on Metacritic, and just lots of great reviews across the board. I saw some nice video clips of the game. Just looks beautiful. Monolith never disappoints. So shout out to Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition coming over to the Switch. Then, of course, Assassin's Creed Shadows launched this week.
It did not get bombed with negative reviews. I was surprised.
Yeah, I know. Came in at 83 on Metacritic, over 2 million players right out of the gate. Overall, apparently just a good Assassin's Creed game. Good. And I know one thing that people were concerned about was, is it going to feel like bloated like Odyssey or Valhalla? No, it does not. So, also good, because that makes those games kind of daunting to approach. But overall, the general reception of the game is very positive, and I don't know, sounds like Assassin's Creed's, just put out a pretty solid title and possibly back on their up and up. I don't know. We shall see. But shout out to Assassin's Creed Shadows. And then, Zach, your game came out this week. Altair Yuma, the Alchemist of Memories in the Envision Land. What a name. The reviews came out. 81 Metacritic, over 12K current concurrent players on Steam, which is the highest ever for the franchise. So, shout out. Are you going to pick it up soon?
Probably not.
Oh, well, never mind then.
That's a series I collect. I don't necessarily play them.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Gotcha. All right. But some good news, though. Expedition 33 and South of Midnight have both gone gold. Here we go.
Woo!
Let's go next month.
I saw the
You and
South
33s.
I know. 33s, right?
I had seen the South of Midnight did. I didn't see 33s did.
Yeah, 33 did. Yeah, which also funny that you mentioned that, because Expedition 33's Twitter account quote tweeted, 33 Immortals launching. It's just like, big year for the 33s. I'm just like, damn right. You're damn right it is. Let's go. Split Fiction movie is now in the works.
That's wild.
Yep. Shout out to that. And
that
also,
moves fast.
Huh?
That moves fast.
It does move fast. It does move fast. And speaking of what else is wild,
I saw this.
Yeah, Split Fiction Secret Level, Secret Challenge, which has been dubbed Laser Hell, was recently completed. And when the 2 players completed it, they got a video pop up of Joseph in game saying, "Congratulations for completing it. We're gonna fly you out to Sweden so you can see our next game." And then Joseph tweeted it on Twitter. It was just like, "Hey, congratulations, guys. I'm being dead serious. You guys are coming out to see our next game early." It's just like, all right, so I got questions. So whenever he finds out someone completes it, is there a patch sent out for the game where the video is removed from that secret? I have questions.
I mean, probably not. I mean, he'll probably keep it as it's just probably gonna be a one-time thing.
Yeah, true.
I'm more curious, like, if he had it set up where, like, if that video got played, does he get a notification immediately?
See, that's
sent to
what
I
his
wanna know
assume
too.
something happened.
Yeah,
Because he's probably like hanging out, like just,
just
hanging,
chilling,
hanging
yeah.
out, chilling. It got the notification with.
it's like
Oh,
it's
they
time.
did
It's time.
Joseph's probably doing. It's like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
Joseph.
I love that guy.
Joseph's a character.
I love that guy.
Just his transition from first announcement of A Way Out to
Now,
Split Fiction.
yeah,
He's just rolling with it.
yeah.
Like he's full at his. Cause like I'm in complete control now. We good to go.
Yeah, I can do whatever I want and just have a great time. Next up, God of War showrunner admits he tried playing the games, but he can't because he can't figure out the mono controllers, and he's just not a gamer. Does that concern you? That he's not a gamer. He doesn't really care. 'Cause I know the first thing people immediately turned to when they heard this news was Halo, where the showrunners of Halo was just like, "Yeah, we didn't play the games or talk about the games. We just talked about the lore and the world, and we saw how that turned out."
The thing is, if he's the man in charge, as long as he has people underneath him who he lets just cook, and he's just the one who's there, and he's like, "I'm here to oversee and make sure this project happens," then I'm fine.
I'll be honest.
If he's the one taking creative control of it, then yes, I'm worried.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna
fair.
be honest. He took more time than the showrunner of Halo because he actually attempted to play God of War.
Yeah, that's true. The Halo guys did not even attempt to play. They're just like, I don't give a shit.
Then we
Yeah,
got,
they didn't even attempt to like look anything up.
Yeah.
which led us to getting Chiefs ass cheeks.
I'm still mad about that. Whatever. Anyway. All right. There is a rumor that the Gears of War collection will be releasing day one on PS5, Xbox Series, PC in August of this year, and it is PS5 Pro ready. So that'll be another domino to fall there with the Gears of War collection. Which also keep in mind, Gears of War 1 was originally released on PlayStation 3. Shout out to that. But anyway, another rumor here. Resident Evil 9 will reinnovate the franchise. Details are expected later this year, and Leon will be the focus.
They have other characters besides Leon, right?
Yeah, they do.
Leon's just one of the most popular.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
they
he's just the
they,
guy.
they realize that.
Yeah.
You can have another character. It doesn't always have to be Leon.
I mean, well, Leon's actually not in many of them,
I know, but it's like
but he's the one who's heard the most of it.
it's like
Yeah.
he's the one that like you think Resident Evil people bring up Leon a lot of times.
Leon, Chris, Claire, Ada, Julie, or Juliet. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. Technically, we have Shayla, but she was solely Chris's partner in 5, and we haven't seen her since the punching of the boulder incident. Then technically, we have Ashley and her estranged, mutated boyfriend from 6, but we don't like to talk about him.
Oh, that's the third story, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that one sucked.
we don't like to talk about him.
That one was not fun.
And then technically, we still have Ethan, but I guess they're chopping Ethan after Village.
Right. All right, next thing. Apparently, Life is Strange double exposure was, quote, a large loss for
I
Square.
saw this. That's
That's a bit sad.
that's,
It
yeah,
is.
that's very sad.
Yeah. And it's also, it's sad from the perspective as well that they really banked on this being a big success because of how it ended, where there's clear indications there's supposed to be a direct sequel to this game versus it just being a standalone thing like everything else.
I feel like that was their downfalls because they
Yeah.
made it in the attempt of trying to make it a actual continual series versus all their games that have been solid have just been single experiences within the
Yeah.
same world.
Yeah.
It's like it kind of just feels like they were like, oh, everybody loves Life is Strange. We can it's a shoe-in if we do this.
Right, and
And
everyone
it's
loves
like-
Max.
Yeah.
It was a good game. I enjoyed the game. I understand the gripes. It's a fun game. It's a fun story. But with the ending that it is, and now seeing this and having the probably assumption there will not be a sequel, I said when I did my review, a sequel happening will kind of dictate how I feel towards the end of the game, right?
Yeah.
So this now, I'm assuming a sequel of this will probably not happen, meaning double exposure now goes down quite a bit for me because of how it ends.
I'm wondering if it's kind of the thing of like the Life is Strange game style, if people are kind of losing interest in it.
That's possible too.
Because it's like the games have been successful, like I mean up until this one apparently. Like they've been successful, but it's you don't usually hear about them being like a large success.
No,
Usually it's just like people continue to play it because it's Life is Strange.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a niche style game. I mean, it came out during the whole Choice Matters series of games when we got bum rushed with all those.
Yeah, it's kind of the last one standing.
Pretty much. I mean, we're supposedly have others in works, but I mean, out of like the ones that came out, Life is Strange was the one that managed to hold on and keep a community and whatnot. And I mean, the whole thing about why people liked it was because of these single linked stories that focused around the main characters. I mean, because I mean, we had the first one, Before the Storm did well, 2, True Colors, and I think their issue here was, they thought they could get away with doing an actual chronological set of games, and
Yeah.
people weren't down with that. They enjoy that community enjoys their single experience.
Because if you were going to try to do that, if you wanted to have a continuation to it, you would need to almost have the second game pretty close to being ready to release it as well.
Yes.
So that there's not a large gap between it, and then people can go from one to the next one, and you might have seen a little bit better on that. Although people then probably would have been a little upset that they'd have been like, well, you gave us one story in 2 games.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's unfortunate that Life is Strange could probably go onto the shelf for a while. If this is as large of a loss as they're implying, so that's just unfortunate. Saber Interactive released an announcement trailer for a new Painkiller coming this fall. Shout out to that.
I don't even remember what Painkiller is.
Looked fun though. Bloober Team and Skybound Entertainment revealed I Hate This Place, a future game show, an open world survival game based on the Kyle Starks comics of the same name. I did see the trailer for this. Looked pretty interesting. Going back to baseball here. Seattle Mariners are now wearing Nintendo and Nintendo Switch 2 patches on their jerseys. Because fun fact, if you did not know this by some chance, Nintendo is still a partial owner of the Mariners. Shout out to that. They used to be primary owners, and they sold off almost all their stakes years ago. And now I believe they are 10% owners still. So fun fact, Nintendo of America specifically, if you did not know that. Game Informer already teasing a comeback, maybe? They recently posted about some upcoming news on the 25th. So maybe Game Informer is going to be coming back after GameStop slashed them. And the Baldur's Gate 3 director is again firing shots at the industry, saying that single-player games are not dead. They just have to be good. Respect and facts. Respect and facts. You boys got anything else to add to the weekly wrap-up?
Speaking of Baldur's Gate 3, they've been releasing a series of videos going over the new classes that are going to be coming in patch 8 that are currently, I believe, live like on the test server for the new subclasses. So they've just been releasing a series of videos kind of going over the new features of the class. So hopefully patch 8 coming soon.
Shout out. Shout out. All right. All that's left is Gamesthetic Game of the Week. Zach, it's your week.
All right, we're talking about Jade Cocoon 2.
Oh, here we go. He came ready.
This is a PS2 game series, or game, I should specifically say, where you are monster taming, but not in the usual monster taming way. You are, it never actually tells you your age, but you wake up with amnesia in this world where you are attempting to climb a tower, and throughout this tower landscape, you're going through these different biomes, sort of earth-focused one, a nature, fire, I guess a wind-focused one. I don't really know how you get it. More plant-like than wind, but hey. And then a aquatic area as well. And through this game, you begin to tame monsters that are in the wilds by claiming cocoons, which hold the creature's sort of DNA in it. And you hatch it. You have a monster with you. It's now part of your team. The one thing that really caught me with Jade Cocoon 2 is this. It's a whole story of just these creatures came, the world sort of ended. This is sort of our way of finding salvation is by climbing this tower as a cocoon. It's been so long since I played, I can't remember exactly what they called themselves, but more or less cocoon masters. And you're actually traveling to meet the 4 strongest cocoon masters to get their blessing and become the ultimate cocoon master to face the final creature and whatnot. And the whole thing, while you're traversing all these different areas and whatnot, you collect your team of creatures, but instead of just being like a single battle, you actually can equip it maxes out at 7 creatures you have out on the field at once, because it's done in a radial style where you have each side of you is one of the elements, so fire, earth, wind, and water, and based on which rotation you have determines on which one of what your creatures are on in front of you at the moment, and also determines what skill they use. So you have a mono of each element, and you have whatever next to it, so one that can be either a fire or wind, or it can be a mix. One of your mutated ones, because you do at some point get a fusion system where you can take the extra cocoons of creatures you have and fuse them together to mix and match their skills. Overall, just really min-maxing your team and overall. And so it's a niche, enjoyable RPG, which, if I remember correctly, it was at least a 40, 50-hour game, just traversing the different biomes, collecting gear quests and whatnot. Overall, a very enjoyable, different sort of monster tamer experience. It definitely took up a lot of my time in middle school whenever I discovered the game series. There is a Jade Cocoon 1 on the PlayStation. I personally like 2 just because it more or less revamped the system and made it a lot more fluid in my mind versus the old Jade Cocoon system, which was very much just standard RPG. You maxed out at like having 2 or 3 creatures at most and just turn-based. All that fun stuff. Jade Cocoon 2.
And also some fun facts. For Jade Cocoon 2, the worldwide release was handled by Ubisoft. So
yeah, it was, wasn't
it? Yeah, shout out to that. And also a little fun fact is the artist beyond the game is Katsuya Kondo, who was the character designer and animator for various works. And his best-known work is the character design work on Studio Ghibli films, Kiki's Delivery Service, and Ocean Waves.
That's probably why I really like the art style of that game.
It'd be thanks to him. So shout out to that. And then the composer of the game,
the music was really good.
Also worked on Dynasty Wars, Merc's Magic Sword, and the original Mega Man. So shout out to that. Some more fun facts about Jade Cocoon 2.
It's a gem of a game.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Shout out to Jade Cocoon 2. Gamestead Game of the Week. All right, boys. I'm going to hit the music, and let's get out of here.
Like, comment, subscribe, rate, whatever your platform allows. Let us know how you feel about possible Xbox Steam merger.
Yeah, do everything he said and more. And if you like what you saw here with us, we do these live streams every Saturday about 6 p.m.-ish Central Time. So come check us out then.
Make sure to also check us out at our Patreon down below and support us further. We appreciate that. Again, shout out to our YouTube patron, Hannah. As well as to come join the Discord, be a friend, tell a friend, and check out some Rogue Energy, as well as Agent Inc. and Sparky3Shop.com. Until next time, guys, have a good one. Bye.